Good evening. Tonight, we invite you into the home of the Toronto Symphony.
This was the place, man. This is like when you've played Massey Hall, you've arrived.
The room makes me smile because it's mixed up with so many great memories, both as a fan and as a performer.
When you get on that stage, you know that, you're playing with the big cats. Like, this is where history was made in your industry. Some amazing shows have happened here.
Imagine if Hart Massey could hear those voices today speak with such reverence about the gift he gave the city of Toronto almost 125 years ago. A memorial to his son who died at the age of 36. A concert hall that was also meant as a town hall. A secular space to celebrate not just music, but speeches and sport.
This is the hallway into Centuries, and what we've done is pulled up old programs, newspaper clippings, photographs.
It's a hall of fame of musical stars, from the most Canadian of performers to the man who was once the world's most famous singer. Tickets for Enrico Caruso's final concert here in 1920 cost the equivalent of a month's salary for a laborer.
And there were many people who either couldn't afford the $8 to come and see him play, or couldn't get a ticket even if they could. And such was the crowd outside of Massey that he came out onto the fire escapes and sang an aria at the end of the concert for the crowd that was assembled below.
To walk around is to feel the history of this place, but you can see it too. No one questions the need for a renovation here, but some are worried about what that might do to the essence of the hall.
You always want a sound for the audience to be great, and I hope they don't ruin that.
Gordon Lightfoot knows what's at stake. He's played here more than any headliner, more than 160 times. Now, almost 80, he's about to perform what's become an annual series of concerts in a place that feels like home. This over here. One of the things that I found interesting is you walk in your front door, and here we go, 2 images of Massey Hall inside and out.
You can hardly really tell what this is, but it's the interior. You got to get right in there. Of course, we loved going there because it was like we'd made it through another year of living, of playing and performing.
Do you remember the first time you were on stage, that Kiwanis Music Festival?
Oh yes, absolutely. I was 13 and I knew I was going to be singing that evening, and I was kind of nervous. And I walked all over the place. I walked upstairs and downstairs, and it sure felt different. It felt big too. It felt like something really important, which it was.
So I'm just wondering, somebody who's watching now, who will be watching this in Calgary, let's say, or St. John's, Newfoundland, and they're going, Massey Hall, like what's so special about Massey Hall? What would you say to them?
There's something charming about the old place. I mean, it's got a great sound. I mean, it has a wonderful ambient sound.
You can hear that wonderful ambient sound for yourself in a series of recordings. The greatest jazz concert ever.
Oh man, look at my life.
Neil Young, live at Massey Hall, 1971. And Rush, All the World's a Stage.
It was the first time we'd recorded live, so the first time the recording truck was going during a performance, so it makes you hyper aware of every note you play.
Now you guys are an arena rock group. I mean, in terms of like the sound is so big, what do you have to do? Bring the volume from 11 down to 8 when you're here?
No, we didn't do that. It's truth. The truth is that it is a tough building for a really loud band like us, and the sound pressure level is quite intense. So we sound very loud in here.
What did it mean to you to play here?
Oh, it was ginormous for me, personally. My bandmates too. Massey Hall, for Ontarian, Canadian, was a legendary building, and I saw so many heroes here that the idea of playing here was sort of incomprehensible. So the first time you do load in and you actually play, it's tremendously thrilling. This has always been Canada's special music hall, just like Carnegie is to New Yorkers, and you know, the Royal Albert Hall is to Londoners.
I love the connection between Rush and Bare Naked Ladies. Ed Robertson tells the story, in fact he told us the story, of getting a bottle of champagne from you when they had, I think it was a 4-night stand here.
Right.
With that 4-night stand, Bare Naked Ladies broke Rush's record for consecutive concert nights.
This champagne came with a card, and it was a congratulatory card. It said, "You're only supposed to do 3 nights, boys." And I carried that bottle of champagne around for about 2 hours between sound check and the show and explained to everybody, "It's from Rush. Rush sent us champagne."
It was sort of a record at the time for a rock band. We were just proud of them.
And in case you think the old hall's appeal is lost on a new generation of musicians, listen to the Good Lovelies, who played here for the first time just a few weeks ago.
I don't always get a chance, because of where my microphone is, I don't always get a chance to fully look at Caroline and Sue on stage, but tonight it was like I didn't want to stop watching you. Because I was like, you're on the Massey Hall stage. Well, I am too! Oh my God.
We've definitely played bigger places than this, but it's so legendary that it's like, it feels so much bigger than it is.
There are a lot of people out there, but yeah, it's that it sort of goes up rather than out. So everybody's right there. There are a lot of them, but they're all, it's actually quite an intimate room from the stage, and that was a really nice thing. Yeah.
So Massey Hall's magic lives on, but it's showing those 124 years. And so, funded largely by the federal and provincial government, the reno will be extensive. So you have this awesome Lego model.
It's pretty incredible.
It is incredible. It will take more than 2 years. There will be new washrooms, 2 new performance spaces. The seats will be changed, and about 100 original stained glass windows, covered up long ago to keep out street noise, will be restored. All while trying to preserve what has made this National Historic Site so beloved by so many performers.
So will there be a change? Probably, but what we're hoping is that it's a change for the better, and that the acoustics in the hall fine-tune what's already an incredible instrument, which is the original auditorium.
Shortly after Gordon Lightfoot's concerts in July, Massey Hall will close its doors. The new look, with that old sound, will be revealed in the fall of 2020.